When Governor Romney came to office, things were pretty grim. You think about that after the post 9/11 world. Massachusetts was in pretty bad shape. What was it, a $1.5 billion deficit?
No,
that he
billion.
faced.
$3 billion.
$3 billion. And by the time he left, where was unemployment, and where? Do you remember?
It was 4.7% unemployment.
That's right.
Yeah. With us, I remember being really proud of that.
We're proud of that.
In a $3 billion budget surplus, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
That's right.
We want to see him do this in Washington. We
Exactly.
really do. Yeah.
Exactly. In the first or second cabinet meeting, we put up that whole list of the campaign promises. And I remember at the time when he said, he parsed them out to all of us and said, if you own this, you own this, you own this, get it done in 4 years or less.
And that's another thing about Mitt Romney. He will take people and place them in positions, and they do well, or they find they're good at something, and he'll move them over to fix another problem.
Yeah, it's true.
Here and there. It's all about
when he
getting
saw talent, he
problems.
He did a fantastic job of not just knowing the business side or the politics, but and the people side. He was able to bring all of that together.
That's true.
That's a unique skill.
I remember when people in my office said, "Where's the list?" And I said, "What list?" The list of people we have to hire that the governor's going to send over. And I said, no, there's no list, because he's campaigned that he's going to work in a bipartisan way, and that we're going to hire Democrats and Republicans, and there's no list, and they did not believe me. And then there was no list.
I mean, in order to get anything done in an overwhelmingly Democratic legislature, we all knew we had to work very closely with our colleagues who were Democrats.
Well, we could fit all the Republicans in the legislature in one room.
That's true.
There were 20, at the most, there were 22.
He had respect.
Yeah.
That's why he worked so well in a bipartisan manner with people, is he wanted to hear the different sides of the debate. He had Democrats in his cabinet because he wanted every point of view in the cabinet. And he embraced talent, and he always said, okay, what's the right solution? But I always thought how it was really hard for me, and one of the things I learned was just how you had to be respectful and really listen to all the different voices in the room. And he's the one who said, that's what you've got to do, and he showed you that that's what you have to do.
You always knew that he was trying to make government better for the people of the state.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that was just so clear.
And I would talk to folks in the business community. They were, and these are people that I would have to say no to on a regular basis. They would say, we appreciate the fact that we actually have an answer. And, in prior administrations, it was really hard because it wasn't clear who was making decisions and what the priorities were. And being able to have clear leadership, a clear agenda, and getting really good, smart people. It's a little self-serving, I realize, because I'm part of that group. But I've worked with some really incredible people.
Great example.
And being able to get all that done is a testament to the ability that we were all empowered to do that.
That's why I keep on coming back to, at the end of the day, you can trust this guy to make a very, very thoughtful and wise decision.
Mitt loves a good argument.
He does. That's
true.
And I have to tell you, sometimes you're like, okay, well, if you pick this company and they don't win, or if you pick this company, so you should leave it out there and let the free market work on things. And, Mitt would start arguing with you, and you just sit there and be like, okay, all right, I better have all my math ready because I got to tell him the consequences of this, and I better have the timing down. And I can tell you that a few people where Mitt would smile and he'd say, it sounds good, you can leave the room. And then he'd say, Renee, you better have some numbers for me.
You always kind of knew you had to be ready with those numbers. You had to be ready with those numbers.
And you had to be win your debate, right?
That's right.
Well, I can tell you a great example. No one even knew how big the park system was. We merged the two park systems. Which
There was
you may
so much
recall,
duplication.
There was a lot of issues with the
Yeah.
legislature because there was a lot of relationships in those park systems with the legislature. And it turned out to be, I think, we're the 46th smallest state in the country, and we have the 8th largest state park system in the country. We have 500,000 acres. 10% of Massachusetts is in our state park system. No one even knew that. When we went to the legislature, they were like, really? But then we got funding. Because we got the data, we got funding. And even in a budget crisis, we kept the budget for the parks more or less the same, reduced a little bit, but we got capital funding for bridges, for pools, for beaches, for things where people really, went to and it really mattered. We fixed the rinks problems. So that's not my point. We started with the numbers, and lo and behold, that was how you got things done for for those parks, because people had to know the story.
It's not just a matter of numbers. He was looking for whether or not we had thought through something very, very carefully. And I agree, he loved the arguments. I mean, he loved
That's
the
how he
arguments.
decides.
He loved the
He
pushback.
decides by listening
Saying
to
no
him.
to him is not a big problem. But if you're going to
Back
say
it up,
no,
yeah.
you
Back
had
it
better
up,
be
yeah.
prepared with something in your hip pocket. You know? Just simply saying no will not fly.
People sometimes think, oh, he's just a numbers guy. He is a numbers guy, but he's got the biggest heart. And people need to know that.